So here we are. Welcome to California's largest state park, the Anza-Borrego Desert. I spent last night right smack in the middle of about 100 palm trees. It's February and temperatures last night got down to a lovely 50 degrees. Slept with the roof off of my tent, staring at the stars. And I am just here to wander the desert. The one goal I know I have for today is I have to find water. I brought about 2 gallons with me yesterday. I'm down to about a gallon, and right smack dab in the middle of the area I'm exploring, I have read is a campground that has water. So that is the mission for today, is to find that campground, restock like a camel, head back out, and I've kind of mapped out this figure 8 with that campground being right smack dab in the center, so I can keep going back and refilling my water supply. But yeah, just a lovely evening, a lovely morning here in the Anza-Borrego Desert. We have made it to Bow Willow Campground, and just as promised, there is water here in this little spigot behind me. It is not drinkable, so thank God I brought a filter, and if you do this, definitely bring a filter. So I'm just gonna sit here, probably have some lunch, filter my water, fill up my bottles, fill up my belly, fill up my camel's back, and then we're gonna keep heading south. All right, speaking of food, let me show you what I got here. Since water availability is limited, I didn't pack any dehydrated meals. I didn't want to utilize water for that. It needs to go into my body. The only thing that I have that requires water is coffee. And I brought my jet boil and everything just to make coffee. That is a staple for me. My mother is going to be very disappointed in me because none of this is particularly healthy, but I was just looking to pack calories. So I've got just tortillas with peanut butter and Nutella rolled up here. Meat, jerky basically in the form of circular dollars or whatever. I have protein bars, which are nice and melty, but protein bars. I have a bag of peanuts, and look at that, more jerky, and this time in the form of meat sticks. Oh, there's the canyon I've been looking for. How do I get down to it? Son of a... So this Hills Have Eyes looking shed behind me is actually what I was looking for. This morning, I woke up, I'm in the best mood. I'm waking up in the middle of palm trees. I'm hiking through palm trees. I get to a campground. And then it's like, you know, I could have stayed. I could have stayed in that general area. But no, this book said I should go check out these ancient ruins. And I'm like, you know, that sounds fun. Maybe these are, you know, I've stumbled across a lot of places that are tricked out in some one way or another. Maybe there's like a fireplace or a stove or, you know, a place to sleep in these nice old ruins. The other thing is, the hike that I did today, the book that I used, it described it as like, oh, there's like a half-mile scramble up some rocks, and then on the other side you get to this wash and blah, 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 blah. I felt like I just scrambled over an entire mountain range for 4 miles in the middle of a desert in the hottest part of the day. And what do I have as my reward on the other side? This fucking creepy shed. Yeah, if you do this, I think you can skip this part. You can just do a nice little loop on the Bow Willow side. You're welcome. I have learned that for you. Yeah. back in the Palm Oasis. Stopped in Bow Willow once more to refill my water, right at the perfect timing because I had just run out completely. So restocked, started heading back north to the car, and I think this is gonna be our final sleeping spot of the trip. This is Southwest Grove, the largest grove of palm trees here in this part of the state park. And this is definitely my favorite part of this backpacking trip, are these palm tree oases that you can sleep in. Like this is cool. So I actually made super good time. It's really early in the day, like middle of the day, which is when I was hiking yesterday. And it is hot here, even though it's February. Like they warn you between 11 and 4 not to hike out here, especially like April through December. So I'm in the coolest parts of the month right now, but I mean, this place is a desert. So with most of the day, I'll probably just relax, take a nap, stay out of the heat, read a book. Just chill in the desert oasis. This twisting tree here behind me, looks more like a bush, is Tarote. And this is the only place that it is found north of Mexico.
All right, well, obviously we're out of the desert now, and I just wanted to go over a few things, a few planning tips, some stuff I wasn't able to include in the video. So first question you might have is, how the hell did I find the Anza-Borrego Desert? How did I choose that? And really it started with plane flights. I first started looking for just cheap direct flights, right? For me, that's a couple of places like Seattle, places like San Francisco, and of course, San Diego. So the next thing I looked for was weather. Obviously, we're trying to get out of the snow. We're looking for hikes in areas that are warm. So once I identified a few of those places, when I look to plan hikes, I still like looking at hiking books. I don't go on all trails or anything like that. I find that hiking books, this is the old school way to do it. This is people that are older with just years of experience, and there's just more information, there's more options. So I always look for books. So I have this one, Backpacking California. I basically have all the backpacking and hiking books available for the states around me. So I just pulled out Backpacking California, and in this book is where I found this Anza-Borrego hike. I was able to fly into San Diego, rent a car, be out in the desert. It was about a 2-hour drive before the day was over, hike out and get to that first campsite that you saw in the video. There was no hotel or Airbnb required, so it made the travel pretty cheap for me. So you can see here's San Diego, and over here is the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. It's absolutely massive, and you could kind of see the hike I did where I described it in the video as a figure 8. I parked up here in this not even trailhead area and hiked along this way up over the ridge. Right here is the first campground that I stayed in, or the first Oasis that I stayed in. And then you see this figure 8 where I come down to Bow Willow, the campground with water that you see. And then up over this mountain range, it felt like, into Rock House Canyon. Right here, over here, are the ruins. They were actually right in here. You can almost see them down here where I stayed. And then the next morning, coming back out, hiking over this saddle, made my way down back to Bow Willow right here, and then figure 8'd out and about this way. If I were to do this again, I would probably park either at Mountain Palm Springs Campground, which was less developed than Bow Willow, but more developed than anything else. There's no water right here. Or I would just stay in Bow Willow and maybe go out and do some backpacking over here, stay in these oases. I hope I'm saying that right, oases. And then I would probably explore these valleys a little bit more instead of going up and over into this canyon. Like I said, this canyon was kind of a trek and not my favorite part of the trip. I kind of liked it north of this Bow Willow campground up here, but to each their own. I will say this canyon it was so quiet. That's the other thing that I wasn't able to really portray in the video, but those palm tree oases at night are alive. They are loud. I was able to get a couple of videos here of some animals. You're talking about ringtail cats, tons of birds, just so much noise in those palm trees. It's really cool, but it can be somewhat freaky as well. But yeah, there's a lot of life in those oases, which were the coolest part of this trip by far. Anyways, there it is, the Anza-Borrego Desert. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.